looks like.
Okay, got it. So nice. Harshita is the other person, right? Harshita?
Yeah.
Hi,
Yeah, can
I
you just
don't have
briefly?
any,
Uh,
sorry,
no, carry on, carry on.
I don't have any experience on IT industry. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
currently trying to learn data analytics.
Mm-hmm.
Even I don't have any experience on basic tools like Power BI and Tableau.
Okay.
I'm learning data analytics along with that. Like I need to learn AWS. Like I'm having few opportunities on AWS with data analytics.
Okay.
Yeah.
And okay, now I understood the reason. Okay, about me, I have more than 17 years of IT experience, being as a programmer, and then cloud experience in last almost seven years or more. I also I do trainings at a corporate level, students in college on AWS and also Azure. Okay, so there is now by what you have introduced yourself, I understand that you both don't have any basic knowledge on AWS. Do you guys have the knowledge on AWS? Why we use AWS? I mean, not about data. It's just that why a company has to use AWS, or what are the basic things AWS provide for us other than data side.
Uh, yeah, I think it's a cloud platform, right? For any
Yeah,
company, store their data and use it as a database, as a cloud service.
correct. So I will share you my screen. So you can see the syllabus. I think you would have got the syllabus. If you see the syllabus also, it is, I'm mostly going to cover these services in AWS. Okay. So this includes analytics category, then integrations, then financial side, compute, containers, databases, developer tools, then front end and management, data transfer, networking, and security, storage. So these are the different categories of services or different categories in AWS which we are going to study. Okay. So in this, our learning will go with, I mean, we won't go in the same order, because first I will start with the identity management, and then networking, compute. So I will take you step by step. Then we will go into the data also. For the data, what are the important services we need to know is, these are all the analytics and integration services. Because you people have a basic knowledge in IT or AWS, I will start with the other topics first. I mean, what are the compute services, networking, then security, storage. These are the things which we are going to start. Okay. Now, before we go further, I will just give you an introduction of what some. Do you have any topic to pick, or I can go with some
No, I mean,
random?
you can just take us through the life cycle, how a day looks like, or what kind of services or tools or data engineer requires, and what we can learn in this.
Yeah. See, as a data engineer, you will be using, data engineering is actually a very vast, job role. Okay. And every data engineer will have different kinds of responsibilities in a company. Okay. The reason this syllabus is designed like this by AWS or anyone who is ambitious to go into data engineering is, they are not just has to learn about data itself. Okay. There are many other things you have to know in AWS. Of course, you need to know about what are the databases available, then how you are going to uh, work with data, integrate your data. All these things are there. But on top of that, to do those things, you also should know how AWS is going to give you a platform for doing this. Okay. So basically, when you talk about data, the data is already will be there most of the companies. As a data engineer, if you start your career as a data engineer, already the data is available outside AWS also. Okay, if you consider this as AWS, the data is there already outside. So when you are going to start in a company, your role can be multiple ways. One thing, your company want to migrate your data into AWS, so you have to provide a solution. This is one type of a job. Or already they have migrated data into AWS. And as a data engineer, now you need to maintain this data or make it more efficient. And as a data engineer, what kind of a role I will be having is, sometimes we will be handling multiple data from multiple applications. And you have to integrate these 3 projects data into single dashboard. Because you already know about Power BI or Tableau. What is that Power BI or Tableau is doing it? It is providing you a interface for the analytics. I mean, for the analysis of the data, you are going to provide an interface, right? So that data you are not going to get from a single source. Sometimes you are getting it from multiple sources. One can be a SQL Server database, other can be PLSQL, and other can be some other data. So your responsibility or your skill starts from understanding 3 different types of data and how you are going to make it into a single endpoint or single interface. But that won't end there. Okay, it is also going to start with, where is this database and what kind of a database you have to choose, and what is the right and appropriate solution you need to apply for it. Correct? This data structure is different, this is a different one, this is a different one. Then how you are going to provide a solution, what services you are going to use in AWS. Then when you are talking about data, you should also know how you are going to frame your security also, because data security is more important, and where you are going to save your data, what are the services available. So everything comes into the picture. That is the reason data engineering is a vast subject, and you should also know lot of services also. Okay, and because you are still not there in that job actually, because some of my students are already working there and they are just upskilling their knowledge. Okay, but some people, they are not working in proper AWS environment or AWS data side, so they are just trying to get a overall knowledge which will help them to get into that field. Because you two are in a similar kind of a profile where you don't have much knowledge on AWS and you are trying to get into there. So what I would suggest, and how my syllabus and my kind of teaching will be is, I will be giving you overview of many things, and some services I will go in depth, and it won't be any theoretical. I am going to show you how to create any instance, or I am going to show you how the networking works, okay, with proper examples inside AWS. And there are certain places where we can't practice it, because we need huge amount of data. On a training environment, it will be a difficult thing to generate huge amount of data. Wherever it is possible, we are going to go through with a practical live examples. When it comes to some of the services, like say for example, S3 bucket is there for the storage services are there, security, networking, then databases. These are all I'm going to create it and show it. EC2 instance, what options we have in EC2 instance, everything I'm going to show it, and we are going to do the examples also. But there are some places where we can't really do it everything. So in that scenario, I will give you the knowledge, and in a real-time office environment only, we are going to get a chance to work on that. I will give you a clear information on what is that we are going to do it, and what is that you have to try it out on a real-time environment. Right?
Yeah.
Hope you
Okay.
understand it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because see, for example, Kinesis data warehouse, these are all big data analytics, live streaming services. We won't be having such a huge data with us or multiple applications with us to practice it. Got it? That will happen only in a companies where we have real applications running, and they will generate huge amount of data day to day. On our environments, it will be very tough for it. Okay, so what you have to know in these scenarios is, okay, this is the process we have to follow, and this is what we need to know to attend interviews. Right? So that's what we are going to do. But other services which we can do something, I mean, I'm going to show you how to create it, what options are there. I expect you both also practice it. It is not just I'm going to tell a theory and go away. Okay.
Okay.
So, and for AWS to practice these services, you need to have a AWS account. I hope any of you have already a AWS account.
No, I haven't created one.
No.
See, you need to create a AWS account if you have to practice with me. Okay.
Okay.
And when the session starts, I will guide you how to create it and what are the things you need to do. But I'm just take you through the website. So this is a portal for AWS where you can see all the services listed here. Suppose if you join in a company also, same portal will be accessible for you. So for example, you want to create a data warehouse or Kinesis data stream, you just need to go here and start creating the data. In this, there are some services which are free for you, and there are some services which are chargeable. See, these services are heavily chargeable. Okay, some services are free. So I will tell you when the class is going on, I will tell you if this service is going to be chargeable, or some services are based on how you trigger. If you use that service, they will bill. If you are not using them, they won't bill. So there are certain services also. Okay, so accordingly you have to manage these things. So if it is free, I'm going to tell you, you practice it as long as you can. Especially this section, analytics section is more costly. Analytics section is all like chargeable services because they expect you have a lot of information. Okay, and here these services are all free, so you have not much to spend. Suppose with this syllabus, even if you want to get a certification, you can write a AWS certification. In fact, I would suggest you to write a certificate. After my syllabus is over, you can take 10 days time and write a certification. This syllabus will help you in getting that certification preparation done. Once we start, right, I will take you through each and everything, like how to create a service and what configurations should be there and everything. How to manage a security, how to create a user, then how to give right permissions for right purpose. Okay, because as a data engineer, handling and managing data is high priority. You can't give access to everyone because client have their own requirement, right? You can't expose the data to everyone. So you should learn how to manage your proper rights to each user, everything. Okay. And just to give you a overview, this is a section, manage access to AWS resources. So this is the place where you can control access to services or users and what you read access, write access, everything you can provide here. In fact, this is the very first topic I'm going to start because this is the main thing. From here, we start a journey step by step. I'm going to take you through. And just in case you have any doubts or you want to add some other service, anything you can ask me. If it is relevant, I will definitely cover that syllabus also.
Yep. Okay.
And so you guys prefer a weekend classes or weekdays classes?
Anything is fine for me, but yeah.
Anything is
But during the weekdays, I think I'm only available after the working hours. That's like probably morning times in India.
Okay. Actually, I won't really prefer daily classes. Okay, I will only prefer weekly 3 to 4 hours. I mean 3 to 4 classes because you need to also follow me, right? You need to practice and come back.
Yeah, yeah.
So obviously, I won't continuously take the classes. Mostly, we will think like 2 days of a weekday and weekend one class or something. We are going to split. Okay.
Okay.
And then, yeah, that's, I think you have any questions or any
Um,
doubts on?
can you take us through like real-time scenarios of these AWS environments? Is it
Yeah,
possible?
suppose, see, in a real time scenario, obviously, when we start, I can take you through. And that's what I said. I am not going to teach you a theory. Okay. I am going to teach you individually each service, how we create it, how we are going to integrate them. But again, all the services we won't use in a single scenario, right?
Yeah,
Different
yeah.
different services at different time. So whenever the integration, see, in the beginning 10 hours or something, right? I'm going to teach you individual services because that time you won't get the integration. To go into the integration, you need to know what are all the basic services you have. Then only you will understand the integration, right? So beginning we will start with these services, database, individual databases, compute services. So we start with compute, containers, databases.
So all of these will be linked with the real scenarios, right? When you taking us through the process.
Obviously, see, that's
Okay.
what I'm saying. Real time scenario, how does it look like is it's an integration. Real time scenario, you can't learn with one service. It's an integration. Multiple services will be used for it. Correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Just for example, just S3 bucket you won't use for anything, or just Elastic Block Store you won't use for it. Okay, you have to use it only through EC2 instances. So EC2 instance along with S3 bucket or along with Elastic Block Store, you are going to use it together. So in that way, I can't teach you the integration in a beginning class, right? First, I need to tell you what are the individual services and what they do. Then you will understand the integration when I say, correct? So
Yeah.
that way, that is what I'm saying. When I take a EC2 instance, I will show you how to create a EC2 instance and what options is there inside it. Then S3 bucket, how you are going to upload a data, how you are going to give the permissions, everything I will tell you. After some 10, 15 classes, when I go into a data integration, then you get to know where S3 bucket is used. Correct? So
Yeah. Okay.
obviously be prepared in such a way that first to 50% of the classes, it will be more of individual services or two services at a time. Later integrations is going to come in. That's true, right? It is just like driving a car. In the beginning, you should first learn how you apply gears, a brake, and everything. Then you come into a stage where all of these you have to control. So I will take you in a systematic way.
Okay, okay. So,
And
uh,
yeah,
yeah, so like throughout this entire, the tools and services, like how much of a programming knowledge, the coding knowledge is required, or do we need to emphasize on which service more to which requires more coding or programming knowledge? Do we have any such sets inside these ones?
programming knowledge, particularly if you have Python, it's an advantage.
Okay, so the
Then
Python is
you
not covered in this syllabus.
no, see, inside this all these things, there is no programming language is covered. But there will be scripting used here and there. Okay, in some services we use scripting, or in some services we may use some sample piece of code. Okay, those things I will provide you. And of course, suppose you don't know that scripting, I will give a introduction on how to, I mean, what is the best way to learn that scripting, or basic commands of that scripting. Wherever it is needed, I will provide you the information. But actually, there is no need of any programming language here.
Okay, okay.
But having a Python knowledge is a added advantage when it comes to data engineering.
So, I mean, like, how does the data analysis works in this, part of the AWS? Like, does AWS provide all those, analysis, tools that we can, without the help of, any Python or, we can do the analysis?
No, data analysis, there are some services in AWS, okay, which we can do it. But many companies will use third-party tools also.
Okay, okay, yeah, because I see a quick set or, some kind of dashboard services inside this one.
Correct.
So, yeah,
So that is why I say that there are many ways of doing it. We can't showcase everything, right?
yeah,
But when you go into a job search, or when you are going for an upskilling yourself, you need to know most of the things on a overview. Because see, these tools, next 6 months this tool will be there, and after that it may new tool may come in. So I'm going to teach you quick site open search where we use and what is the use case scenarios, and even sometimes when it comes to AKS like Kubernetes services, the monitoring tool or alerting tool is different. Their analytics are different. So accordingly, I am going to teach you. So we will know. Obviously, I can't really say that okay, this kind of a programming language is needed or this scripting is needed, but it's a journey, right? So we need to see, uh, by having a basic knowledge, we should move on. Correct. Some people, if I say here in RDS, any database can be used, like SQL, PL/SQL, MySQL, any database can be used. So having that knowledge is definitely advantageous.
okay,
So some people knows SQL alone. Some people knows PLSQL only. So when you are implementing it, RDS supports all the databases. You can use any of the database of your comfort. When you are practicing, you use only SQL Server. When I am practicing, maybe I know only MySQL. I will use MySQL, right?
yeah,
So there are many flavors here. See, basically, you remember any cloud, okay, AWS or Azure, okay? They are cloud service providers, but the basic services are already there. It is like Ola, Uber, these are all service providers, correct? But car is
yeah,
there, which is already car is there. These two are just service providers which use car, correct? Similarly, your database knowledge won't change. Like SQL knowledge, it never changes. But that SQL we are going to bring into AWS so that we get some advantages of AWS. Means AWS makes our life easy. That is why, see, Apache Cassandra is there outside the outside world. But Amazon Key Spaces is just a flavor of Apache Cassandra inside AWS. Correct?
Yeah. Okay.
So MongoDB also same. I won't teach you MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB knowledge is purely on your choice. But I will tell you MongoDB how you can bring it into AWS. Right?
Okay.
And how you can connect, or how you see all these scenarios. The program will already be there. Suppose EC2 instance is a server. EC2 instance is a server. Lambda function is also a server where already the coding will be there. You are just going to bring the code inside it. Some people are a Python developer, some people are database engineers, some people are Java programmers. So their programming knowledge will stay there. And everyone can use these services. So their own flavors they will use. Yeah, I know. I can understand that. At the beginning, you look everything. I mean, all new world for you. But as we move on, right, you get that clarity. As you start exploring the things, you get more clarity. That I can assure you. Because I have been teaching even for engineering students like who don't have any knowledge on anything, like who don't know anything about database. Also, I taught. So I know how to take the things through. In between, see, I am, and moreover, ours is an interactive sessions only. Okay? So you can always ask me if you don't understand, and I will answer it. Okay?
Yeah, get that.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, I think I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you are good, we can positively start. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. I think you can get the update from my colleague.
All right.
Okay. Nice talking to you, Harshita.
Hello.
So and
Thank
yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Anand. Myself, Jay.
Yeah. Hi.
Anand, if you don't mind, can you please take one concept and explain to them in real time?
Yeah. Sure. I can explain.
Huh? Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that will be helpful for them. Even their freshers, no, they don't have any experience.
Okay. No problem.
Thank you
So
so much. You can
just
take any one of the concept and you can show them in real.
yeah. Okay. I will start with this service called Amazon S3 service. The reason I am taking this service is this is very important service when it comes to storage. Okay, and it is used in all the integrations with the data integrations, coding, everything. Okay, that is the reason I'm going to take this S3 service. S3 is nothing but simple storage service. Okay, S3. So S3 is a simple storage service. So what is the advantage of this service is you can save any amount of data, huge amount of data you can save at a lesser cost. And moreover, I can tell you what are the real case scenarios or use cases for this. Developers can save their code, and applications which are using images in their applications, right? That can be saved here. sometimes reports are generated, like say hospital application is there, it is saving their reports, I mean the patient's records or anything. Even for a 10 years of 10 years old data also you can save here. Okay, and logs of applications also can be saved, and further for analytic purpose also S3 bucket can be used. Okay, that is the reason S3 is the most powerful service, and I will show you how we are going to create a S3 bucket. And moreover, a real use case scenario for this is, Netflix or Amazon Prime, where how many movies they are having and where they are saving these movies. Okay, that is saved in this service only. I mean, some I think Netflix is using S3 bucket, whereas Azure is having a similar sort of a service. So I think Amazon Prime is using this or something, but similar services. Okay. So to create this S3 bucket, the bucket name, and you can see this is highly secure. That is the reason by default public access is blocked. And I am just going ahead and creating. Default encryption is also there. So encryption for the S3 bucket is by default. And I am creating a bucket. For example, I am going to upload one image into this. So I have uploaded an image inside this S3 bucket. I can open it. I can see this image. Now, just to give a demo on how much secure it is, okay, I will try to give a public URL, which how public is going to access this S3 bucket. Access is denied. It means I am the owner of this bucket. I have created, and I am in the next tab itself. But still, I can't access this image. Means such is the architecture of S3 bucket. It is highly secure. You can't give a the security is very tight for all the objects. Unless you give permissions, it is not accessible. Even myself can't access it. Being in a same tab, in a next tab itself, I can't access it. Now, there is one additional a small configuration here, share with pre-signed URL. Okay, I tell you where this is used. Okay, in a pre-signed URL, the advantage of this is you can give public access for this object. Object means this data. Currently, I have uploaded an image. It can be a file also, a video file or audio file, or it can be a report, anything, financial reports, or it can be some video. See, I am giving permission for only 1 minute. I am giving this public access for this only for 1 minute. It generated an URL and I will access it. Now I am able to access this image. But remember, this is only for 1 minute. Actually, if you remember paid movies in Amazon Prime or Netflix, right? When you pay that 30 rupees or $1 or something, they will give access for 4 hours, 5 hours, or 6 hours, one day, like that. This is the logic behind it. This is the service they are going to use it, where they will send you a dedicated URL, and that permission is given only for a limited amount of time. Now I gave it a 1 minute just to give a demo that in 1 minute we will lose the access.
Here, like, do we need to specify the user?
No, not the user. We have to specify the timing.
Only the time.
Yeah, the timing. But see, I will tell you. At this moment, over. 1 minute is over and your access is denied. So this is useful when we want to give permissions for a limited amount of time.
Okay, like if we don't specify the user, in that case, like anyone can get the access of that link, like for the specific time.
Yes. See, this is a public access. Of course,
Okay.
as on a user level, we can still, there are different methods. Okay. I'm just trying to give you different concepts. Okay. On the first concept, what I did is I created a bucket which is private. Means it's not accessible for anyone.
Yeah.
Currently, these objects, no one can have access other than me. Right? Now,
Yes.
I need to give permissions according to, as you said, particular users or particular IP addresses, or it can be any conditions, correct? For
Yeah.
that, I need to write policies, means access policy. You need to set up bucket level policies or folder level policies. You can set it up. Okay. How to do
Yeah.
that? How to do that is I need to go to see bucket. S3 bucket is what the term we use for this service. S3 bucket. S3 means simple storage service. Simple storage service. Okay. Now, currently I did not give any permissions to public. Block all public access. Suppose I want to give permissions for public to access my images or anything. See, currently I uploaded an image, but I can even upload a video also. For example, I have a video, I can even upload video also. Anything it is. Of course, I'm trying to cover very basic information, but actually this service itself, I will take almost 2-3 classes because a lot of features are there and it's very, very important service also. In fact, S3 bucket is used in integration with Athena. Athena, Kinesis will use a S3 bucket. All these services will use S3 bucket in the background to save the data. Because this is the only service which can save huge amount of data. When I say Netflix will save their movies here, means you should understand what will be the capacity of it. All the analytical software or analytical tools you see in the market, if they are using AWS, definitely S3 bucket is the service behind it. All right. Now, let this get uploaded.
The main purpose of S3 is like it is used for storing the for storage and for the security purpose, right?
Not security purpose, storage only.
Only
The
the
security
storage.
comes into a picture because when you are saving data, obviously you should have the security also.
Yeah.
Right. See, one company saves data here, and it's not like everyone can come and access that data, correct?
Yes.
Suppose Apollo Hospital is there, their patient records and their medical reports, everything is saved in this S3 bucket. Now, if you give public access, anyone can come and see that reports, correct? You got my point? So you should know how to maintain the policies and access and permissions and everything. Okay. Suppose I want to give permission. How I have to give it is, first I need to remove the public access. See, currently by default, all public access is blocked. If at all I have to give public access, I need to confirm it. Even now it is not accessible for the public. For example, if I just copy this, still it is not accessible because you need to write your own policy for the bucket. If I scroll down, there is a bucket policy. So bucket policy written in JSON provides access to objects stored in the bucket. See, these are the things where you need some knowledge on what is JSON file, how to write a code. You need to write a policy. How to write a policy and what is the structure of the policy, where you can find a policy. This comes with practice. Of course, there is AWS documentation. I will tell you from where you can take the policy and copy and paste it, and you can change according to your needs. Okay, but just to give you a simple, demo, I will write one policy. Okay, to write a policy in AWS, you can use AWS policy generator. See, don't worry about it now, because I am going to cover on how to write a policy in a separate class. Even before coming to S3 bucket, my first class will be on the policy writing. Okay, so this is a policy generator, because many people don't know how to write a policy by themselves. So AWS will help you in generating that policy. So coming to the here, okay, S3 bucket policy is what I am going to write now. Okay, permissions is allow. My intention is I have to allow public to read my object. Correct? This is my statement. My purpose of this policy is I have to allow public to read the object. So effect is allow. Okay? Principal means whom. I said public means everyone. So in programming, star means everyone. So when I write star here, it means anyone can read. Or now I am allowing everyone. Now inside AWS S3. So this is for S3 bucket. Now what action? There are so many actions. Means read only, write, read, delete. So many actions are there. If you don't know anything or you don't have any idea, you can, with experience, you can learn. Okay? Otherwise, you can see here. So what is that I want to give? Read only, right? So it means get object. So I will go to the get object. There will be somewhere get object. Yes. And there is something else called create bucket also. Means someone can create a bucket also. Means the public can create, but I don't want to give that. And also I will give put object. Means modifying the object permission also I can give. So I selected only for two actions I am giving permission. One is to read object and other one is to update the object. Now next question is Amazon resource number, means which bucket. So if I come here onto my bucket, you will find something called ARN, means the bucket information. So I can copy it, put this one here, and I will also write slash and star. I will tell you what is the purpose of it. Means all the objects inside this bucket. That is the meaning of it. Okay. Now add statement and generate policy. See, for whatever I have chosen there, the policy has got generated. If you read this again, effect is allow resources for this S3 bucket. In fact, for all the objects inside this S3 bucket. Star means anyone. What are the actions which are allowed? Only getting the object and putting the object. Now I can copy this, come back to my permission section, just paste it here. Edit, paste it here. There are multiple ways if you don't know how to write this policy. One is policy generator, or you can go to AWS documentation and get a policy for it. But that I will teach you when the real classes start. But for now, yes, I copied one policy and I save my changes. So now what is the meaning is I have given allow permissions to everyone for getting the object and putting the object on this S3 bucket. Now, if I go back to this and refresh, now you are able to even public can able to access it. Not just me. Even if I give it in the chat window, you people can access it. You people can access this image. Now, there is one more doubt you will be thinking. So the permissions will be given to whole bucket currently, because this says slash all, means all the bucket, whole bucket I have given permission. What if I have to give only limited permission to some folder? For example, there is a folder called images. So you want to give only permissions inside these images, not outside it. For example, there is a document. Now, how is your bucket structure is? You have images folder, and outside images folder also you have some files. Now I want to limit, currently at this moment whole bucket is given permissions. So I can read any object. I can open this object also. This object also I can open. True. But that is not my requirement. Now someone says, don't give access outside images folder. Only inside images only you have to give permission, not outside. Now simple, I need to come back to my policy and change it such a way something inside images folder only have permission. So this public access is only for files inside the images folder. Now we can test that back. Now I try to open this image. Now this is not accessible because this image is not inside the images folder. Previously it was inside that folder, not now. So it is blocked. Whereas if you go to the images folder and this file, this is accessible. This is accessible, not this one. So this is one more method where you can control permissions only for a particular file or particular folder. There are many other complicated, rules you can frame this policy. You will get to know when we have a class where, from scratch we start learning about it. We get to know more conditions also. Right? So S3 bucket has lot of other properties also to handle. Say for example, event notification means whenever an image is uploaded, your team has to get an email. Or whenever there is an image which is deleted, so someone deletes image inside, or someone deletes folder folder inside this bucket, your team or your manager has to get a email. Those can be configured here. And the logs of this S3 bucket. So whatever happening inside this S3 bucket, all the transactions and the events which are happening, you can log it in some other place. Okay, those things are there. And you can also host a website also. Static website hosting is very important. So I will show you how to create a static website and host it, because it's a cheaper option to host a website. And you will have some more permissions also. Metrics management. So how you are going to handle your life cycle of the objects. Because when it comes to saving huge amount of files, for example, Apollo Hospital, 10 years of data they are going to handle it in S3 bucket. Means you should know how you are going to handle your data. What are the rules you are going to place on your data? Mean life cycle of the data. Say today you are uploading the file. How long you want to maintain that file? Or is there any expiry date where automatically those files are deleted? Say after 3 years this files has to be deleted, or you have to save it in a cold storage, or as a backup you want to replicate this data in somewhere else. So that is replication rule. Means whenever you upload to an object here, there is another place for backup where this copy will be there. The copy of this file is located somewhere. So how to set it up? All these things I will step by step I am going to teach you when we come into a broader perspective. I mean, when we go deep in this service. Okay. I think this is enough for a demo session. You have any questions?
No, yeah, this was good.
Yeah, I know it's very difficult to in a short period of time to make it one big service. But yeah, I try to give some different flavors we can do in different time. But there is a lot more in this. Anyone, anything else, or we are good to close? Hello.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's clear.
yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay. Anyway, have a nice time ahead.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Anand. Thank you so much for giving demonstration.
Bye. Welcome.
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
ఒక్క నిమిషం రికార్డింగ్ స్టార్ట్ చేస్తాను.
Okay.